Hello guys, so we are going to backtest USDCHF together. I'm going to show you how I look for confirmations before I take my trades. You all know I started trading the SMC smart money concept some months ago and I'm making serious progress, so I want to share this progress with you. All right, the first thing I like to do when I come to the chart to backtest is I want to look for this indicator and turn it on, the month week break. So I turn this indicator on. It helps me understand where the beginning of the week is, so I can backtest the whole of this price action from this point to the end. Okay, all right, so let's look at these trades, this Monday trades. All of these trades played out on Monday, so let's look at this was Monday. As you can see, the dates below, so all of this played out on Monday. So let's backtest these trades on Monday and see what happened right here. Okay, so if I get the replay too, I'll just come right here and replay price from this point. Let's replay price from this point. Okay, and then I'm going to turn off indicator right here. Awesome. So this is our POI. We're waiting for price to mitigate this POI for us to start looking for a sell. However, there is an imbalance right here, so we know if price mitigates this imbalance, we can also look for a sell. Okay, so we mark the imbalance and we play price and see what price does when it gets to the imbalance. So let's play price. Okay, price has mitigated the imbalance. All right, so now let's go to the 3 minutes time frame. So in the 3 minutes time frame, I like to refine our 15 minutes POI. So there's a refined POI right there, and there is another one up here. So in case price fails this POI, it can come up to mitigate this extreme POI. On the 1 minute time frame, what are we looking for? You're looking for a sell, so our demand zone is supposed to turn to a supply. All right, so we have this demand zone right here, we have another demand zone right here. Okay, and then we have the final demand zone, I think, right here. We have all of these. There's one more demand zone I can see right here, so let's mark this. Let's say the whole of this as demand zone, but it was mitigated at the top, so we can refine this to this point, so we can say the whole of this is our demand zone. So we want to see what price does when it comes to this demand zone. Let's play price now and see what happens. So I play price. I can see the price finally gave a reaction right here. So there was a reaction, so this demand zone is valid. If price breaks this demand zone to the downside, then we are looking for a sell. So let's play this and see what happens. Awesome. So let's see, price might end up, taking out this high. Let's see what happens. We'll play the price and see. Awesome, price has taken out this high. So as price took out the high, it means this demand zone will actually be transferred to this point. Around this point is where we're looking at as our demand zone now. So let's see what price does when it comes down there. We are going to play price again and see what happens. Oh, price actually reacted. I think price is reacting on that zone, so we are going to refine this. This is now our liquidity sweep. Price swept liquidity to the upside. Okay, so now we are waiting for a reaction. Let's see if we can get a proper reaction and a breakdown. This is a good reaction. Let's see if price is going to break below. Let's see. Awesome, so price broke below. Now look at this, price has broken below that. So we are looking for a sell entry just above here. So this would be our new supply. So this is now the supply. Demand has been turned to supply. However, there is another point up here that is also an extreme supply. So what do I do in this case? In this case, I'm going to set my entry. There's also something I do here just to help me ensure I don't miss out on any trade, because this imbalance is pretty wide. So I'm going to ensure when I place my sell entry, I put it at the midpoint of that. All right, and then for this entry, my stop loss is going to be above this region here. So I'm going to do 5 pips, or let's do 6 pips. Okay, and then I'm going to place another trade right there just in case price comes to the top. This is going to help me maximize my profit in case this extreme POI is mitigated. All right, so let's put this for 4 pips and we're going to play price and see what price chooses to do. All right, so let's play price and see. So we play and see what happens. So this was mitigated. This entry has been mitigated right here. Price did not react on this demand zone, so we are going to delete this. However, there's one more demand zone here. Let's see if price is going to react on that demand zone. Don't forget, we have one entry already running here. Okay, so let's play price and see what happens. So price reacts nicely on this demand zone. Okay, at this point, this entry doesn't look valid anymore. We're going to quickly delete that, and we look at the 15 minutes to manage our trades and see what's happening. Okay, as we look at that, we are going to quickly adjust this. We are going to play price now and see. Okay, there is a reaction right here on this. We can see that this is this is also a 15 minutes demand zone. All right, there's a reaction. At this point, we've moved our entry to break even. The moment we saw that this price broke below this, we moved our entry to break even. So let's see. At this point, I'm going to look at this. I can see the price has actually broken this demand zone, but let's look at the 1 minute. Let's see what happened there. So I can also see a very good reaction on that demand zone. I can see the price reacted on this demand zone before it broke down. So this looks like a very good setup for me as well. This is a good setup. I'll be looking for a sell right there. Okay, this is a good demand. This is a good demand turn supply. I'll be looking for a sell right there. My entry would be somewhere around that point, above this point here. 6 pips. 6 pips should do the work. All right, then I'm going to move this out of the way. However, this entry has to be managed, so while we are looking for another entry, and we are going to see what's happening right here. So you can see that price is actually reacting on an order block right there, which means price might reverse to the upside. So my management is always very simple. I move my entry based on the 15 minutes candle close. So once there is a candle close, I move my entry above the candle close. But when the candle is as wide as this one, I do halfway the candle, at least halfway. All right, so in this case, I'm going to just do, let's say 2%. I'm going to lock in 2% because this reaction here is actually massive, so price could reverse from there. So let's play price and see what happens. You can see price reversed from there, so this trade took me out for a 2%. Now we're going to go back to the 1 minute. I already have an entry set here. Let's see if this entry is going to trigger in, and if we are going to make money from this entry as well. So I'm going to move this, and let's not forget another thing I like to do. So I'm just going to quickly check and see how wide this is. So this is a pretty wide imbalance, so that means I'm going to adjust my entry that way and ensure that there is room to the upside as well. So 6 pips is what I'm looking at as my entry. Let's play this and see what happens. So you can see the price has tagged me in here. All right, price has tagged me in. Let's see what happens if this is also going to take me out. We are going to go to the 15 minutes to manage the trade. So let's manage this trade now on the 15 minutes. Let's see what price does. Let's play this. All right, so awesome. So price has actually given us this reaction right here. So I'm going to move my entry from this point to break even at this point. All right, I'm going to move my entry to break even. All right, so I'll move my stop loss at this point to this point right there. This is how I manage my trade. So my stop loss is just going to be, I'll make this 1%. Okay, adjust this. It's still above this candle, so this is how I like to manage my trade. Above this candle is where I put my stop loss. So we are going to play price now and see what price does going forward. Okay, play this. All right, our stop loss is still protected. Goes down. I want price to break below this point. If price breaks below this candle, I'll adjust my stop loss again. So let's see what happens. Awesome. So price broke below that point, so I'm still going to adjust my stop loss. This time I'm going to adjust my stop loss to this point here and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to move my stop loss, I think around a 1.5. Awesome. So I'll move it to a 1.5 and then I'll play price and see what happens. So let's see. Price keeps going down. So at this point, I'm going to also adjust my stop loss to this high here. That way, if price takes me out, it's fine. So 2% at that point. Let's see what price decides to do, because I can see that price didn't break below this. Price actually gave us a double bottom here. So the reason I'm doing this very aggressive management is because I know that there is a very strong order block here that price reacted from initially. So price might do the same thing and still take me out. So another thing that this could mean is price could actually be giving us a 15 minutes entry, like so. Price could actually be giving us a flip entry in the 15 minutes. So this becomes our 15 minutes demand zone that failed. All right, broke down, and then price will go up to tag me. So I'm very aware of this, and don't also forget that this our order block, this our POI at the top has not been mitigated. So that's why I'm very conscious about my management. Okay, so now we have 2% locked in. Let's see what price does. So price took me out for a 2% profit, and now price has come up here to mitigate this order block at the top, and then we have a POI that price has mitigated. I'm just going to clear the chart now to make this a bit more clear for us to see. All right, now we have that, we can see that price has mitigated our decisional POI. Now I'm going to go to the 1 minute time frame again to look for an entry. The same way we looked for an entry in the first instance is how we are going to look for another entry here. So what are we looking for really? We can see that there is a demand zone right here. and price has reacted on that demand zone. Okay, so there's a demand zone right here and price reacted on the demand zone. But if we look downwards, we can see that there is actually another demand zone right here. The whole of this is a demand zone. So what happened was price broke above this demand zone and then reacted and came back to react on it. Okay, if you look at this properly, you can see that price broke out with this candle. Price broke out of this zone. Okay, and then price reacted on this. So this is also a valid demand zone we would pay attention to and would see what happens. Okay, let me go back to the 1 minute. I would see what happens there. So we have two zones we are paying attention to. All right, let me quickly just minimize this so it doesn't obstruct what we are looking at. So this is the entirety of the demand zone from this point. Now price has reacted on this zone. What are we looking for? We want price to actually break below this and give us an entry at the top to continue a sell downwards. Okay, let's see if price is going to give us that. Another point of call will be that price doesn't react on this one, but price just actually breaks all the way down. Price breaks this demand zone and give us an entry at the top. We'll see take another sell. Okay, so now let's play price and see what happens here. Play price, you can see price reacted on this. You can see the price is reacting on this zone. All right, beautifully, price is reacting on this zone. Let's see what happens. Play price again. Price will break down. So this is a very good setup for us. Price has broken below this. You can see price has broken below this point, and it means we have a demand turn supply at this point. So this is a zone we can be looking at. We can decide to take the whole of this area as our supply zone, you know, which will mean that it has already been mitigated, or we can filter this down and take it at this point, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to refine it and take my entry at that point. So this will be my valid entry, and then my stop loss will be just above this zone right here, just above this zone. Now keep in mind that there is still a possibility that our 3 minutes POI can actually be tested. These are 3 minutes POI right here. So the safe point would be to place it above there. All right, so the safe way to place our stop loss would be to place it above this 3 minutes POI. That will mean a 9 pips stop loss. All right, and actually place our stop loss just above this, which will give us a 6 pips stop loss. Okay, but I prefer that you place it above this 3 minutes POI. That way your stop loss is protected. So this would be our entry for a sell, and then I'll play price and see what happens. If I'm going to be mitigated, awesome. So we've been mitigated into this sell. Let's see what happens. We'll play the price now and see what happens. We'll go to the 15 minutes time frame and see how we can manage this at that point. Okay, now let's see. Play this. So we are going to move it to this point, move it to this point, move it to this point. So now that this last candle is a very wide one, what do I do? This wide candle. So the way I like to manage my trade is, when the candle is wide like this, I move it halfway of this candle. Okay, so I'm going to move this halfway of that candle and see what happens. I'm going to move it halfway of the candle, let's say 3%. Okay, so this is going to be my stop loss. If price takes me out, it's all good. I made 3% from that trade. So let's play that and see what happens. So you can see this was a 3% trade. Price came and took me out for a 3%. So these are the first set of trades for Monday, and this is already 3 p.m. on Monday. So we took 3 trades, 1, 2, 3 trades. The first trade 2%, second trade 2%, and the third trade 3%. So this was for 7% on Monday, and then this was another trade on Wednesday. So let's backtest this Wednesday trade and see what happened on Wednesday. So after the Monday trade, the structure kept moving in a bearish form. So we had a break of structure right here, and then after the break of structure, we had another price action right here. Okay, so there was inducement taken out and then break of structure. After that break of structure, we are looking for inducement. This is not a confirmed inducement, so that was not valid. And then we got our confirmed inducement right here. After the inducement, we got this POI. So we are going to go to the 1 minute time frame to look for entry. But before we go to the 1 minute time frame, one thing I like to do is I like to refine my POI on the 3 minutes time frame. So let's look for the refinement and see if we find any on the 3 minutes time frame. So if you zoom into this, you realize that we have a very nice order block right here. Okay, so if I mark this, this becomes my refined 15 minutes POI, and you can see the price has nicely mitigated that POI. So we can look at the 1 minute chart now and see if we can find an entry. And what are we looking at? We are looking for a very simple flip from demand to supply. So these are demand zone, so we're waiting for price to come mitigate this demand zone, come in here, give us a reaction, go up, come down, and then give us a sell entry at the top. All right, so let's see if price gives us that quickly. Let's play this and see what happens. So price kept going up. We're going to look at the 15 minutes and see. So this is not a break, this is just a sweep. So this is still a valid sell entry for us if we can get an entry on the 1 minute. All right, that's still very valid. So let's see what price does here if we play this. Are we getting any reaction? Yes, we are getting a reaction at this point. So this is a reaction. So the next thing we are waiting for is a break of that point. Let's see, does price break below it? Not yet, not yet. Let's see. So as long as price doesn't break above this point, then that demand zone is still valid. But if price reacts on this demand zone and pushes above and breaks above this, then this demand zone is not necessarily still valid for a sell, or for a, it's not still valid for a sell. Yes, so this demand zone is then not valid for a sell. But let's see what happens. Let's play price now. All right, so price has successfully broken out of this. So this is a valid break of our demand zone. Now it means we are looking for a sell from this point right here. So this is actually not a valid order block, so I'm not going to pay attention to that. However, one thing I can also do is, because I know that this is a 3 minutes refined order block, I can actually do this and ensure my stop loss is above the 3 minute refined order block. So this is still valid, so we can do a 7 pips as our entry and see what price does. Let's see if this is going to be a valid trade, if it's going to be a win or a loss. So we're going to play this and see what happens. So we've been mitigated into this trade. We are in this trade now. Let's see how it plays out. We'll go to the 15 minutes to make this faster. Okay, so we're going to play price and see what price does. Now you can see, so you can see that it was a good choice for us to move our stop loss above this 3 minutes POI. All right, that's why I like refining my POI. Awesome. So let's see what price does going forward. Let's play price. You can see it's almost took us out here, but I believe you can agree that we are still in this trade right there. All right, we are still in that trade. So let's see what happens at this point. Based on my management, our stop loss would be somewhere above this. Play. A stop loss is not going to be moved yet because this candle did not break below. This candle did not break below this price action, so we are going to allow our stop loss where it is. Let's play now. Okay, so this is going to be where we move our stop loss because price has just broken below this point. So we move our stop loss like so. This is going to be us locking 4.6%. We'll play price again and see what happens. All right, we move our stop loss again below this because another low has been created. I'm going to play price one more time and see. Okay, so here we have price still giving us another opportunity to trail our stop loss. So we are going to move price again 11.8. We can even do 11.5, which is still be a decent trade. Okay, let's say 11.5. We are not being very aggressive, so 11.5 would have been a decent trade. So this was a Wednesday trade, and this would have ended by this trade have been gotten into at around 9 a.m. This trade would have been gotten into at around 9 a.m. and then trade would have ended at around 2 p.m. and this would have been a 11.5% trade. So this was on Wednesday. On Thursday from 6 a.m. so there was another trade idea right there. So let's backtest that trade idea and see what happened. We can see that price has taken out inducement at this point. All right, this is our 15 minutes inducement, and price took out inducement at this point. So the first thing I want to do is to go to the 3 minutes time frame and modify my POI. This is my POI, so this has already been modified. You can see it there. So I modify it in the 3 minutes time frame, and now I can go to the 1 minute time frame to look for my entries. Okay, on the 1 minute time frame, we are looking for our sell entry here. Let's play price and see what happens. All right, so you can see the price broke above, but I'm going to go to the 15 minutes to see if this was a proper break or a sweep. So in this case, this was a sweep, so price didn't close above. This is a sweep, so this sell is still valid. Go back to the 1 minute, and then I can see on the 1 minute that there is this sweet, very nice demand zone right here. All right, so from this demand zone now, what am I doing? I'm looking for a reaction on this so I can take a sell. So let's play price and see what price does. All right, so price is looking like it's going to react. Awesome, this is a good reaction and this is a good close. So I see a reaction and a close. I'm going to place a sell entry right here. So this is demand turned supply. Okay, my entry is going to be just like so. My stop loss is going to be just above this. Let's do 4 pips, just above this for 4 pips. Awesome. And then we are going to play price and see if we are mitigated into this trade or not. Awesome, so we are mitigated into this trade. We go to the 15 minutes to manage our trade. Let's see how this plays out. All right, so on the 15 minutes we are going to manage our trade. Just play this. So this is not enough for me to move to break even. I'm just going to wait for price to go below this candle, then I can move to break even. Well, unfortunately this was a loss, so price didn't give us any opportunity to move to break even. So this was a valid loss because it follows everything my trading strategy stands for. Awesome, so this was a loss right there. We're just going to play price and see what happened. So we can see that price has created an inducement right here. Let's see what happens. Play price. Let's go to the 3 minutes and refine our 15 minutes order block and see what happens next. All right, on the 3 minutes we can see that there's really no need for a refinement because this is pretty much the refinement right there, so we can do without it. So now we are going to be looking for an entry. Let's see what price does. Price has created a 3 minutes POI. This is a single candle order block on the 3 minutes, so it means if price comes back here, we can actually expect to find an entry for a sell, because that can be a very good point to look at. So let's see if price is going to come back to that point, then we can look for a sell entry. Okay, so price came back to these points there. So at that point, what are we looking at? We are looking at this as our demand zone. So if price comes back to react on this demand zone, if we go to the 1 minute, it's probably going to be clearer. So this is not necessarily a clear demand zone, so I don't think I want to pay attention to this, except there's another demand zone created up there. Let's see if price is going to go up. Okay, so yes, this is a better price action right now. So price has actually taken out this price here. All right, so this is a liquidity sweep. All right, at this point, where is our demand zone? So this is a demand zone. We can expand this to the top, this candle up here. All right, so this becomes a valid demand zone. So if price reacts on this, then we'll probably be looking for a sell. Let's see what happens. So price came and broke through. Did it? Yes, price broke through this, so this is not a valid sell for us. We can't get an entry right there, so we just play through. So now there's a break of structure. All right, price has broken structure to the downside, so it means on Thursday we had one trade that was a stop loss, so we had one loss. Now we are going to see what happened on Friday. So at this point, what can we see right here? We can see that there's a break of structure. Inducement was taken out. So once inducement was taken out, the next thing would be to look for a POI. This is not necessarily a valid POI for me, so I'm not probably looking for a sell. So if price breaks below this is a break of structure. If it breaks above it, that's a change of character. So let's play price and see. All right, so price broke below. This is the proper break of structure. So at this point we are looking for our sell. So but price would have to take out inducement first for us to find a sell. So let's see, this is inducement. Let's play price now and see. All right, so price created another inducement down here. So if price takes out that as inducement, it means this would be a valid POI, a point of interest. All right, this would be a point of interest, and then this would also be another point of interest. So if price breaks this first point of interest, we'll look for a sell at the top. So let's play price and see what happens. Nice, inducement has been taken out here, so we are going to cut price here and see what happened on this decisional POI. Let's see if price gave us any entry on our decisional POI right there. All right, so we can go to the 1 minute time frame, but like I always like to do, a 3 minutes time frame first to see if we can refine this POI. At this point we have this as a POI on the 3 minutes, and we also have something here at the top as a POI on the 3 minutes. Okay, so let's see what price does there. So we can now go to the 1 minute time frame to look for our entry. So at this point, what are we looking for? We can see that this is actually our demand zone, and it looks like price already reacting here. So if price doesn't break above this, if it comes down, then we can look for a sell. But if price breaks above that, well, we'll probably look for another price action. So you can see price just broke below this, it didn't react, so this is not a valid sell for us. Okay, so price broke above and it's not coming down, so we are going to go to the 15 minutes now and look for what's happening right there. So let's play price and see what price is doing. Okay, so price just mitigated this. We are going to also refine our 15 minutes POI. This is our extreme POI now, so let's refine that in the 3 minutes time frame and see what we have there. Okay, so at this point we can see that we have a 3-minute refined POI right there. So if we extend this, we can see that there is proper imbalance, so this is a valid one. So on the 3 minutes we have that POI. All right, so yes, take this out and then go to the 1 minute time frame to look for entry. All right, so this is what we are looking at now. This is a demand zone right there, and this is another demand zone. So this is another demand zone. So what it looks like here is that price has reacted off this demand zone already. Price reacted off this demand zone, but then price broke out of this. So if price comes back and reacts on this demand zone, then we can look for a sell at this point. Okay, but if price doesn't do that, price just does this, reacts here, all right, and then breaks, then we can look for a sell at this point. So let's see what price does. Okay, let's quickly play price and see what happens. Don't forget there's a demand zone right there. So we'll play price. You can see price is looking like it's going to break below this. Let's see what happens. Is it reacting? Awesome. So this is looking pretty much like we are going to take off this. All right, we're going to take off this. So this is probably a reaction. I'm not very confident about this one, but this is looking like we can sell from here. So price reacted here and then broke this, so we can sell from up there. Let's see. All right, so this is what I'm going to do right there. This is not a very high probability trade, but it's looking good nevertheless. It's looking good. This entire zone is going to be taken as our supply. All right, I'm going to take this entire zone as our supply, and I can see that this is an inducement the price is creating right there. So I can take a sell like so, place it just a bit above the inducement, and then put my stop loss just above this particular 3 minutes refined order block. Okay, so now let's see what price does. I'm just going to play this. Awesome, we've been mitigated. Let's see. I'm going to refine this. Let's go to the 15 minutes and monitor this trade and see what happens. Play price. Oh, hold on. So let's come back a bit. That happened so fast. Let's take it to this point. And now at this point we can see that price has actually moved in that direction, but this is the break of structure. So if price comes here and closes below that, that's a break of structure. So let's manage our trade like I have explained. So this would be my stop loss. All right, so this would be my stop loss. So the moment this candle right here, the moment this candle closed below price here, I will move my stop loss to break even. My stop loss will be just above here. The moment this candle closed below, my stop loss will move to this point, so I will lock in 1%. All right, like so. So I'll lock in 1% like so, and then let's play price and see what price does. Now this is our break of structure, so let's see. All right, this is a reaction. That means price is failing to break this structure. I'll still lock in a few more profits. At this point now, I think price is about to reverse, because this is liquidity sweep. And whenever there's a sweep like this in a very sensitive point, like a break of structure or change of character, price is likely going to reverse to the top side. So I'll be a bit more aggressive and lock in 2%, because I think price is going to reverse. And then I'm looking for a buy. I'm looking for a buy here. So this will be my POI. I'm looking for a buy. If price takes me out, this will be a 2%, but I think I'm looking for a buy on this one now. So let's go to the 1 minute time frame to look for a buy. I'm happy this is happening so I can show you a buy. I don't think I've taken any buy. This is going to be the first buy. All right, so let's look at this. So this was the liquidity sweep. At this point now, we are looking for a supply turned demand. All right, we are looking for supply turned demand, so we don't have any need for this anymore. So this is the first leg that swept liquidity. This is what we are going to be paying attention to first. And then we looked at the supply zones here. So this is a supply and this is a supply. All right, so those two supply zones. However, the moment price broke this point, the moment price broke below, our focus changed from this leg to this leg. So this is the leg we're paying attention to now. All right, so we're going to be looking for what price is going to do on this leg. So here we have a supply that has been mitigated already. All right, and we have another supply right here just above this candle. All right, so this is another supply. So what are we waiting for now? We can see the price is already reacting here. So if price goes above, breaks above this, then we can set our entry to take a buy to the upside. So let's see what price does. All right, let's play price and see what it does now. I'm just going to delete this. That's a POI. So let's see if price has reacted very nicely. Price has reacted very nicely here. So we're waiting for price to break above now and come down for an entry. So let's play price and see what it. Awesome. So this was price going above. Once the candle wicks above it, this is a confirmed break. This is actually a confirmed break. So this candle wick is a confirmed break for me. So I'm going to look for an entry right here. Now there are two ways to take this. This is one entry. This is another entry. So this is supply turn demand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place two entries. Let me quickly take this price back. So I'm going to place two entries. I'm going to place one here. All right, 8 pips. And then I'm going to place another entry down here. Okay, 4 pips works. So let's do 4 pips because it's below this low. All right, so these will be our two entries. Let's see if we get tagged in a bit this way. Now let's play price and see what happens. All right, so the first entry has been tagged in. Let's see. Okay, I think our second entry has been tagged in right here as well. So let's go to the 15 minutes now and try to manage our trade. If I can play this, you can see this trade is moving pretty fine. So at this point, I'm going to be aggressive. My stop loss is going to be moved to this point right there, 3.8% on this trade, and then how many percent on that one? 8.5% on that one. Let's see what price does next. I'm going to move it above a bit. This becomes 4%, and this becomes how many percent now? 9.2%, 9.3% thereabout, 9.3%. So let's see. So this becomes a confirmed change of character. So now price has changed character from a sell to a buy. So we're now looking for buys on USDCHF. All right, so I'm going to take this off. So inducement at that point, and then this becomes the first POI. So price actually tagged into, did it? Okay, no it didn't, but it's very close, and there is a sweep here. So we are going to look for a buy because there's a liquidity sweep at that point. Supply, but price didn't react on that supply, and this is another supply at the top. Looks like price reacted on this one, price reacted on that one. So if price breaks above, we'll look for a buy from here. Let's see. Awesome. So price actually has broken above, because like I said, if it's wicks above it, I consider it as a break. So price has broken above that, so this becomes a valuable supply. This candle close above means I can take my buy from there. All right, 6 pips. I can do 6 pips, take my buy from that point. Let's see what happens. So if we go to the 15 minutes to try to manage the trade right now, let's see what's happening here on the 15 minutes. So if we play this, this would have actually been a break-even trade for me. Why did I say so? Because the moment this happened right here, I would have moved my entry to break even right here. All right, this candle was broken to the top by this candle, so this is where I move my entry to break even right here. So let's see how many trades came this week. All right, so we had 1, 2, 3 trades. All right, 3, 4, 5 trades, 6, 7, 8 trades. All right, but this is pretty much me backtesting USDCHF. So now I'm looking forward to next week. Let's see how it goes. If you're yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on contents like this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But